Good afternoon. This is Board of Building Standards hearing for December 11th, 2025. I'm Amy Rivera. With me today is Ted Agus and Pradeep Parekh, fellow board members. Our first case is 322 Tree Street, MI 2025-004-526. Joseph Ellis is the applicant. And I'm going to have Megan brief us on this. Megan, can I swear you in?
Absolutely.
Can you raise your right hand and do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Ellis.
Mr. Ellis, if you're going to testify, I need you to turn on a camera and your microphone.
All right.
Megan, does he need to testify?
He doesn't. As I'm on the phone and you're calling his case, he is on our telephone. I'm not quite sure. Oh, he said he's on, but no one's picking up.
Okay. Do you have an agreement in place with him?
We do, for a permit under review in 60 days.
All right. I cannot get, oh, Mr. Ellis.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes.
Can you
Thank
turn
you.
your camera on by any chance?
Yeah, one moment, please. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, can you see
I
and
can
hear
see
me?
you now. Can you raise your right hand? And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. So Megan was saying that you have an agreement with the city to have a permit within 60 days. And
Correct.
you're agreeable to that?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
All right.
you.
Have a good day.
Have a great
All right.
day.
Our next case is 33 West Duval Street, MI 2025-004-664.
That
Ole Filosa is the applicant. And I see he's in the room. Is Ole your first name?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, can you raise your right hand?
Yeah.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, Megan, can you present your case?
this case has been complied.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That was easy, right?
Yes. All right, our third case is 69 East Coulter Street.
Thank you.
Yes. MI 2025-004-580. The applicant is Diane Hardy.
Yes,
Diane, can you turn on your camera?
I'm looking for it. Where do I turn it on at?
Usually in the bottom left hand of the Zoom screen, it says video, and you can click on that. It probably has an X through it.
But I did, but it has something else on there. It has my email picture on there.
Oh,
Sorry.
Since we're only hearing, I believe there may be a continuance in this. Is that correct?
all right. We'll keep going with the case. Megan, can you present for us?
Yes, this is for 69. It was for 69 East Coulter Street, right?
Yes.
All right. So this is for an unsafe property for a vertical fracture in the side bearing wall and minor fracture to the front wall. The alley has some stucco pulling away from it. I am under the impression that you are working with PHDC, correct?
Yes, the Restore, Repair, Renew program.
Okay, so have you heard from them yet or,
I'm waiting to find out if the loan is being approved.
okay, but they have received your application, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, Ms. Hardy, I know that you spoke to my manager yesterday, Mr. Robakowski, and there was an agreement in place for 90 days. I understand that you were a little bit hesitant because you have not been approved from PHDC yet. So what I can say is that we can keep that 90-day agreement with the stipulation that in that 90 days on or before, if you hear from them, you give us a call.
I sure will.
Okay, and I can give you my phone number, or if they if you haven't heard from them yet, to give us a call. So it's a two stipulation thing. We will work with you if you keep us in the loop
Yes.
of where you are in the process. So if in that 90 days you haven't heard from them yet, just give us a call. We'll make a notation in the system and then you can reach out to them to find out what's going on. And if you do hear from them before the 90 days on or about, then just give us a call. So again, we can place a note in the system, that you've been approved.
Okay, what's the phone number?
215
Okay.
686 2480.
Okay, and this has nothing to do with me dismissing my appeal.
No.
Hang on. If you agree to a settlement, it will withdraw your appeal.
So is this considered the 90-day thing, the settlement?
Ms. Flade, is that what you're offering?
Yeah, we're going to give you 90 days from today's date to have, was it a permit issued? Did you speak with him, or a permit under review?
You're asking me, was there a permit?
Yeah, I wasn't on the phone with you, and again, it was at the end of the day when we were leaving. So the only thing I knew is that is that you declined that offer. So it would be 90 days from the date from today to have a permit. I'm trying to see
I'm looking at Tom's
between-
email and it says in the system.
in the system. Okay, so right. So in that 90 days, it would be 90 days from today. Okay, right. So you need to have a permit in the system under review, not issued or work started, but under review. So, but what I'm telling you is in that 90 days, if you don't have that, you can call us and let us know where you are in the process of your PhD application, if they've received it or if they have not.
Right.
Okay. That's
Right.
the,
Right, I understand what you're saying with
Right.
that, but he also said that it would also dismiss the appeal. So
Well,
this is the appeal now, though, right?
yes, you're asking for time. He was
Yeah.
giving you 90 days to have a permit under review, as am I. Okay, so if you agree to that, then yes, that's done. Either way, the department was going to request a 90 days.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Either way.
If I may,
Please.
Ms. Hardy, this board is authorized to give extensions of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so the department has offered 90 days as your extension. If we move forward, there's no guarantee of what number of days you'll get from the board. It could be fewer, it could be more. But if you take the 90 days, Ms. Flade is saying that deadline isn't always a hard stop on what time you get. The department is only trying to make the city safer. They're not trying to enforce against people who are actively making efforts.
Okay. All right, but the thing that I guess I'm worried about is they were saying that if I agreed to this decision, then if something came up, something happened, then I could get fines assessed to me, or either go, have further things go into court.
Well, that would, right, so that would happen if the 90 days came and went and you were disapproved by PHDC, which we don't know if you are or not, then
Right.
yes, court would be an option. Oh, that's would be the next step, okay?
Well,
Because
all right, right, I understand it. So now if, like you said, if the 90 days come and then I don't have the funds from the restore, repair, renew, then if I have other options, either like to take out a personal home equity loan of my own, or either go to my bank and get one.
then I'm offering you, which was my stipulation, like
Just
Mr.
to let
Webster,
you-
right? Mr. Webster said the 90 days isn't like it's not a hard, a hard stop. Like I said,
Okay.
if you call and give us the status in that 90 days,
Okay, which I
Okay.
have been doing from day one.
you have been, right? So whether or not, so in that 90 days, on or about, few days before, few days after,
Yes.
you give us a call. You
Okay.
say, hey, PHTC has approved us. This is where we are in the list. We put a note in the system. If you call us in the 90 days and and you haven't heard from them yet, or they have disapproved you, or they've approved you, call us, let us know. We place notes in the system. And then if you don't, then you have to let us know what is your next step.
Okay.
Okay, at the end of the day, and I always make it, there is an unsafe condition on this property. And with the weather coming, we want to make sure that everybody is safe. So if you keep us in the loop of what's going on, you allow us to put the notes in the system. If the inspector goes in and he doesn't see anything, he looks at it as non-compliance. If he
Right.
goes in and he sees notes and he sees that you're at least making an attempt to comply with this violation, and then they work with you, as will I. So that's what
Okay.
I'm saying. If you agree to the 90 days, it's not hard. It's not a hard stop. It's not like, oh, 90 days and we're going to put it in court. You just, you know, keep us in the
Okay.
loop.
Okay.
Okay, then.
Thank you.
So you're in agreement with a 90-day?
Yes, thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Hardy. Good
Have
luck.
a wonderful day.
All right, thank you, you too.
All right, our next case, number 4, 630 Summit Avenue, MI 2025-005-472. Michael Tierney is the applicant. Is Michael Tierney present? All right, Megan, do you want to tell us about this case? Do you
Yes.
have an agreement
If
or?
there's no appellant present,
No, we have no agreement, no nothing.
if there's no appellant present, I don't think we should move forward with evidence.
Okay,
Wait and see until the end of the session.
That's been our normal procedure. It is, yes.
Miss Hardy,
Alright,
you can
next-
disconnect if you need.
next case is 5713 North 17th Street, MI 2025-005-230. Applicant is Kenneth Fullenwellen. Is Kenneth present? No. Megan, anything about this case? Is there an agreement or?
Yes, there was. There was an agreement for a permit in 90 days.
Okay, thank you. All right, next case.
Sorry. Megan, is that in the system or an actual permit?
It is a permit in 60 days, an actual permit.
Thanks.
And
60 or 90? I think you said 90
90
first.
days, I'm sorry,
Okay.
90 days. And he did in fact send an email, which I believe went to Debbie as well, that he agreed with our terms and he wanted to withdraw his appeal that is on the schedule for tomorrow. So
Okay, great. All right, next case, 2231 North 33rd Street, MI 2025-005-716. Jermaine Harris is the applicant, which doesn't look like Jermaine's present. You have an
Um,
agreement on this one?
We do. We have an agreement with the attorney, Mr. Harris, for a permit in 90 days.
Perfect. All right, case number 7 is 863 North Fifth Street, MI 2025-005576. Again, the applicant is Jermaine Harris.
There was an agreement with Mr. Harris for a permit in 90 days.
Case number 8 is 4732 to 42 North Broad Street, MI 2025-005866. The applicant is Owen Williamson.
And the department has a permit issued for this property.
And our last violation is 5723 Chester Avenue, MI 2025-003941. Applicant is Quinton Evans. There's no Quinton Evans present.
I spoke to Mr. Evans on 12/2, and he did agree to a permit in 60 days and an engineer's report to legalize the work that was done. But I guess if he's not here, that doesn't. It
Well, we have
doesn't.
other agreements that you've agreed to that they aren't present and we're,
Okay, Okay,
As
so-
you're giving sworn testimony that you've made these agreements to the best of your knowledge.
yes.
And the board has typically accepted that as evidence of the agreement, which effectively withdraws the appeal.
Okay.
all right, and that ends our our violations for this morning.
That ends it for me. So everybody have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you, Megan.
You too.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Hold
Hang
on,
on just.
Megan.
We have to recall all of the violations. For now, we'll have to continue. Not here, so we can discuss.
Okay, I think the first one was 630 Summit Avenue. Michael Tierney, it appears is still not present. So we move to dismiss.
I'll confirm
Oh, can you
service.
confirm? Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, this is Wayne. All right. Michael Tierney was sent a board hearing notice of hearing on September 10th, 2025 to the address of 662 Summit Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 19128, which is the address that was given to us on the appeal form. He was also sent an email to his email on Monday to the email that's provided on the appeal form, which is MET or MCT13@juno.com.
I think he's the only person that wasn't present that didn't have an agreement in place.
Correct.
Okay, We can
Mr.
stop
Webster,
recording.
excuse me, pardon me, this is the reporter. I believe your usual practice is to note the time before you dismiss for failure to appear.
We normally do. I'll leave it to the board's discretion whether to note the time. I will note that it is after 1 p.m.,
Thank
but
you.
you may note the time.
all right, it is 1:26 p.m. and we're going to dismiss case number 4, 630 Summit Avenue for failure to appear. Do the other board members agree?
I do.
I do.
I do. Can you hear me, Abe?
Yes, thank you.
Hi, Wayne.
All right, we can stop recording now.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. This is Board of Building Standards for December 11th, 2025. We are going to be hearing refusals this afternoon. I'm Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted August, board member.
Board member.
Wayne Miller, board member.
Matthew Webster, board counsel.
Deborah
Yeah.
Richardson, Boards Administration.
John Dimes, fire code.
I'm Matthew Ojigel and I supervisor.
All right, thank you. Our first case is 1709 Christian Street, MI 2025-004-797 7:07. Harry Cook is in the room. And Harry, do you have anyone with you that's going to be presenting?
I do. I have with me Elise Carroll, property owner, who's going to adopt my presentation, and David MacArthur, architect, who can answer any technical questions.
Okay,
And David
Elise-
is here. I don't
David,
know
I'm
if
going to
Elise-
swear you in if you can turn on your mic.
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you raise your right hand?
Sure,
And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. And you're saying the owner is here also?
Yes, Elise Carroll, with a K,
I see someone
K-A-R-O-L.
listed as owner. If they could change their name, we'll turn the camera on.
Elise Carroll, if you are in the Zoom, can you,
Yeah, I'm
There
here.
she is.
Okay.
All right.
can you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, Harry, you can present.
All right, great. Thank you, members of the board, chairman. I'm assuming everyone's had the opportunity to review the memo I submitted, and I'd probably just incorporate that by reference and provide a quick summary that goes over the main points. Then David can answer any of the technical questions. Is that fair?
Why don't you give us a quick presentation, or David, give
Sure,
us a quick
will
presentation
do.
with drawings?
Sure. We will get to the drawings. I just wanted to give kind of a background. This property is a late 19th century Victorian row home, likely built between 1875 and 1895. It is, beautiful. I don't know if, I got to share my screen. I'm sorry. Here we go. Is that sharing?
It
Not yet.
is. We can see your desktop now.
Okay, so this is the property at 1709 Christian Street. As you can see, it is a three-story bowed bay, elongated window openings, flat roof set behind, parapet and bracketed cornice. It's emblematic of that style at the time, and really emblematic of what would become the type of houses that are emblematic of what would be known as Black Doctor's Row. It's a beautiful property. It's not historically designated, but it is a prime example. 1709 Christian Street has a long-standing history, being demised as a three-unit property dating back at least to the 1960s, where the ground floor unit was operated as a small barber shop, beauty shop, with 2 residential units above. At some point before 2006, that beauty shop was converted into a residential unit, well before Miss Carroll's tenure in the property. She didn't reconfigure or intensify the building. It's acquired as is, and every condition underlying was inherited, including tenants. So I'm going to just show some photos of the interior. As you can see, this is not a new conversion. She obtained the property in 2023. There is a fire alarm system in place. I think I provided documentation of that, and we do offer a bunch of upgrades as an alternative to the requirement for sprinklers. Our refusal speaks to sprinkler requirements, corridor requirements, stair landing requirements, and a second means of egress. These prescriptive elements are physically impracticable to retrofit this 19th century row home without major structural demolition and reconfiguration. For example, as David will get into, correcting the stair and corridor geometry to modern dimensions would require reconstruction that cannot be accommodated within the building's footprint without materially altering the second floor unit's layout. Third, importantly, even with the existing stair configuration, the building already meets one of the most critical egress safety metrics. The common path of travel at its most extreme is 89 feet 6 inches, which is well within the 125-foot maximum permitted for non-sprinklered R occupancies under the current code. Accordingly, the core life safety performance of the egress system is compliant today, even without prescriptive upgrades that are triggered under the R2 classification, assuming we can provide better or alternatives to such an expensive investment and endeavor. So we're proposing a set of enhancements that directly address the intent of the code, upgrading the common corridor to 2-hour fire rating assembly, removing localized guardrail pinch point on the second floor, installing integrated heat detection and upgrading to a full NFPA 72 system, and adding call boxes at each landing tied to the central notification panel. These upgrades will materially increase the building's fire resistant and notification capabilities, providing protection comparable and in some respects greater than the sprinkler-based reductions under the IBC. And I think it's important to recognize that this is a classic Reliance case with a very old and historic structure. The owner is not adding any units, not expanding occupancy, not altering the building. She just seeks to continue the longstanding established residential use that has existed here for decades. The sprinkler retrofit and wholesale reconfiguration of the stair and corridor geometry would effectively require gutting large portions of an already safe, stable, fully habitable building. And I'm going to let David go into that, but, you know, threading new piping through joist cavities that weren't designed for it, entire interior infrastructure rebuilt to meet prospective stair and corridor dimensions is, I think, overkill in this instance. And with that, I know you have a very busy day ahead of you, as this is your last hearing. I'd like to call Elise Carroll on just to adopt my testimony as to the history of the property, and then we can move on to technical questions with David, and he can run through the plans.
All right, before Elise speaks, Elise, can you just spell your name for the court reporter?
Yes, it's excuse me, ELYSE, and then Carol, KAROL.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Elise, did you hear my presentation to the board today?
Yes.
Did you read the memo I provided previously?
Yes.
Were they true and accurate to the best of your knowledge and understanding?
Yes.
Do you adopt them as your testimony today?
Yes.
Thank you. Members of the board, I'd like to call David MacArthur to answer any technical questions, or if the board has any questions about the history of the property and some of the other items that are non-technical, I'd be happy to answer those questions as well.
Hi, Ephraim. Yeah, I'll share my screen here so we can take a look at the plans real quick.
While we're getting there, is it one living unit per floor?
Yes,
Basement?
yes.
And what's
No,
in the basement?
no basement living. When we went to legalize the pre-existing use, one of the provisos was no basement living, and there is no basement living.
Okay.
Is
Are there
everyone
any
able to-
alterations being done, or are we just legalizing?
David, you can speak to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know we're proposing to increase the fire ratings between the corridors and units to 2 hours and removing a railing at the second floor as part of the compromises to legalize, but there's no renovations otherwise proposed at this point.
And sorry, go ahead.
What brought up this legalization?
So my client purchased this in 2023. She went to go pull rental licenses. They only issued 2 rental licenses instead of 3. We believe that previously there were only 2 rental licenses issued, but it was owner occupied in one of the units. So it didn't raise any red flags for the purchaser. It's a very old building. It's, you know, the look and feel of it when you go into it, you would not think this was one of the situations where someone just buys and flips and converts and sells. So as well as, you know, having the history of being 3 units previously, even though one was commercial. So that's what precipitated it. And we brought it through the zoning. We were able to get the variance in spring of 24. and have since tried to put in, applied for a administrative CO. And obviously upon that review and being that it is considered a new use, even when something has been there for forever, all of the 2018 IBC requirements apply. And we went on the path to appeal here to BBS, specifically just for those upgrades that we think meet the spirit of the code and would avoid sprinklering and all of the concomitant damage to a historic property and cost associated with such.
It looks like in 2004, it had switched to a 3-family dwelling, no?
It was someone in 2004 or 2006 attempted to legalize the existing 3-family dwelling. And I don't know what the outcome, I know that it was denied. I don't know if it was denied to LNI or appealed to the board or not. I was not able to discern that from the archive, but at least in 2004 on the application, it was to legalize a pre-existing 3-family dwelling.
In 2023, when the owner got a use permit to change it to 3 units, what was their understanding of the property? What were they getting the use permit for?
That was after they were denied rental license. So in order to get the rental license for the 3 units, you have to go get the use permit for 3 units and then get a CO that matches, because in order to get a rental license, you must show a CO that matches the use. So that was all as a result of being denied.
And the property set, when it was acquired, what was it listed as?
A 3-family dwelling.
Okay. And then I'm going back to the memo. So you're saying, so can you clarify if Mr. MacArthur could just clarify with the 2-hour rating, you're talking about the central stairway? Is that
It'd be
common
for the
corridor?
central stairway, and we could also do it between the on the ceiling between the units.
David, can you show the plans? I thought you were trying to do that.
Yeah, is anyone able to see my screen?
I do not
No.
see your screen.
Not yet.
All right, hold on a sec. Let me see what's
You have
going on.
you
here.
have the ability to share.
Okay, are you able to see it now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so starting from the first floor, here is your entry point. There's a common corridor, and to the left, you come into a 475-foot 1-bedroom unit on the first floor. As mentioned, there is a basement to the space. I believe the previous owners might have been using that for living space. We've opted to keep it an unoccupied space for storage just to avoid any issues with emergency egress and things from that space. You can tell by the shape of the stairs and things that was most likely an original staircase that's been there for some time. As Harry mentioned, if we tried to widen it and get all the rises and runs up to code, it would pretty much equate to renovating the majority of the building, at least on the first and second floors, to make it work. And if we went up to the third floor as well.
How wide is it currently?
Currently it's a little, I think it's about 3 feet or 2'10". I think the rises and runs are a little higher than what's allowed by code, but the width is pretty close to what would be required.
It's just the width that showed up in the refusal. So it's 2'10" instead of 3 feet. Right, go
Yes.
ahead.
Correct.
And then if you look at the second floor, when you get to the top, there's sort of a winder and a very tight landing and a pinch point to get into the second floor unit. As Harry briefly alluded to, if we were to try to correct the landing at the top of the stairs to get the proper 3 feet and get it into the unit, the second floor would have to be fairly extensively renovated because it would require us moving the bathroom and also the kitchen just to make the entryway workable to get around that point. Part of what we were proposing, there is a probably the most egregious area in the hallway in terms of the width is there's about a 20-inch pinch point here and a railing next to the top riser of the step. We were proposing to remove that guardrail and potentially put one where that pinch point is, just to give someone something to grab onto going down the stairs so that the person in the second floor unit could come straight up into their unit, and the person on the third floor could come up the stairs, make a left, and not have to go through that 20-inch space there. The existing hallway is 32 inches. I believe that was also part of the refusal. Expanding that would also really encroach into getting into the kitchen space and require some extensive renovations of the kitchen area. You come down the hallway and there's a doorway to the third floor unit, which you can see over on this side, which is a 449 square foot one bedroom unit. And that also has a roof deck on the rear, which we did, I believe, went through zoning to get a zoning permit to legalize what was done there.
So-
Does the rear yard, lead to an alley or a street?
I actually don't have the site plan for me. I believe there is a fire alley in the back, though.
I have a picture of the rear yard. I believe you can, I'm gonna share my screen very quickly if
Well,
possible.
can I ask before this screen goes away? At the
Sure.
second floor, is the corridor wall new? Or are you just adding drywall to it to give it a 2-hour rating?
Oh, we'd be adding it to get the 2-hour rating there. We're
All right, so that's an
assuming at the
existing-
moment it's a 1-hour rating.
Okay. So it's a 2'4", it looks like, wide corridor?
I believe, yeah, 2'4" is the existing width currently.
And those stairs are 210?
I believe they're 34 inches, or yeah, 34 inches.
34, okay. That's a tight move your stuff up to the third floor, but go ahead.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's
if-
why we're hoping that removing that railing would actually help with also getting furniture in there.
All right, Harry, did you want to show something?
Yeah, I wanted to, Elise, when you go out the rear, I'm going to show you on Atlas, you can actually see it better. There is an alley back there. Just want to reorient the photo.
All right, David, you want to stop sharing?
Yes.
But that's okay, if there is one that is.
Yeah, there you can see on Atlas the rear yard. There's fencing, but there's also egress to 17th Street.
There's a doorway in the rear fence to can give access to the alley from this unit, from this building.
That let me check the photos if I have that.
And from the note on the drawings, were you maintaining 1-hour doors, or were you changing those?
The idea was to maintain them. If we do upgrade the fire ratings in the hallway to 2 hours, we would probably switch them out to 90-minute doors, which is typically what's required on a 2-hour rating.
And Elise, it's hard to discern from the photo, but is there a gate on the back fence?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Let me review the refusal items.
While you're doing that, Amy, I'll ask the integrated heat detection fire alarms. I'm assuming that means automatic call out to the fire department. You don't need someone to pull a manual pull station.
We would have that as automatic, and we would also have, because of the pinch point and the height, we would be willing to put in call stations on each floor by the units if the board would require that.
What do you mean call stations?
A panic button.
Okay. All right. Quick question. Is anybody living in any of the units now?
Yes.
How many?
Elise, how many units are occupied right now?
Just one.
Just one.
Okay. And when you said alarm system, when people use that term and sometimes it means different equipment, are you talking horns and strobes in the common area where the stall hallway is? And is there a common hallway, correct, going up?
Yes, and board member Dimes,
I'm on the fire.
Fire
That's okay.
board member Dimes. We did supply the current alarm certification. It does not have integrated heat, but we would be willing to upgrade the entire system to NFPA 72.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if that's required or not, as long as you have smoke
Oh,
detector part of
there's
the
smoke,
system.
there's horns. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
there's
actually
strobes
pull,
and pull
I'm gonna,
stations.
I'm gonna share what we have right now, if you don't mind, just so you can see. Um, just a moment.
Sure.
So by code, they're only required to have a manual fire alarm system in an R2 because it's assuming you
That's
have a
right.
sprinkler system.
This is a totally compliant R2 system, but we would be willing to make the upgrades as the compromise along with the 2-hour fire rating to avoid the requirement for sprinklers. So there, Mr. Dons, can you see this?
I can. It's tough, but go ahead.
All right, let
Yeah,
me
I'm
get
just
to.
wondering what you're proposing and what's already in there. So I'm just saying what
So
you've got.
here's what's already here. Make that a little bigger for you. We got horn and
no.
strobe.
Yeah, I say two
We got
appliance.
photoelectric. We've got manual pull.
All right. And you're saying it's monitored now, or you're going to upgrade it to it being monitored?
I believe this is monitored.
It's
Carol,
currently
correct?
monitored.
Monitored by
Oliver
well,
Fire.
Oliver Fire inspected it, but
But
I think
it, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it is monitored.
Okay. The other question was how long has it been a triplex, so to speak? It's 3 units. How long has it been operated, even though it's not there's not 3 units occupied now? How long has it been like that?
So in 1960, it was demised as 3 units, 2 residential and 1 commercial. And then sometime before 2004, 2006, there was a zoning application put in to legalize a pre-existing 3-family dwelling. So at least 21 years that we know of, it was in existence as when it was attempted in 2004. I just reviewed that.
Got it.
To be legalized. Yeah.
Okay, so but it operated one, and people were living in
Yeah,
there, and there's
that's
3
right.
different there's 3 different meters for the 3 different units.
That's right. And we went through all of that with zoning. One of the findings was that this was a pre-existing use that was extending back, 30 years. It's also important to note that the fire alarm inspections have gone back a long time. The city has taken the inspections and known it's a 3-unit on that level, at least, whether or not, it was R3 or R2. But there is a history of inspections and fire alarm certifications.
Thank you.
All right, I think we're going to do a brief caucus on this one.
Okay.
John,
I mean,
So we are not caucusing at the moment, right?
No, we're not caucusing at the moment.
No, like I always try to, as my role on the board is look at it from a fire department and firefighting perspective. And like I've said at times before, that this is almost standard in the city of Philadelphia with the width of, not standard because it's not code now, but there's a lot of older buildings and houses and things like that in different parts of the city that we do fight fires in more than occasionally, that we meet these conditions. So operationally, there's nothing there that I feel that would prohibit us from doing our job. But like I said, I mean, I think historically the board, when things have been presented to buyers a certain way and there's been meters there, that you looked at that as being okay. So, I mean, obviously up to the board, but from the fire code's perspective, obviously the variance would be needed. It wasn't written in error, but from my perspective, it would be fine and nothing the fire department couldn't overcome.
Beyond the measures that they have proposed to do, is there anything else that you think would be appropriate that you would suggest?
I mean, the rate they're going to upgrade the rating. The fire alarm system, what they're proposing is fine. It's going to be monitored fine. The doors are, I'm sure the doors are up the code, right? I mean, what is it, 75% of the rating of the wall? Are they
They're,
gonna?
they're 1 hour rating right now, the doors.
Okay, self-closing and
So that's
latching.
But they said they would make those.
90
we would
minute.
make all those changes to 90 minutes on the
Right.
2 hour. So
Yeah, exactly. And then
Yeah.
self-closing and latching doors.
that will be upgraded if they are not already.
Okay. That's about all I got, guys.
All right. Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
All right, I'm inclined to grant this variance. My other board members, if you could agree or disagree, or if you want to caucus, let me know.
Make a
I'm
motion to
comfortable
grant
with
with
granting it
provisos.
as
We can caucus to.
outlined.
All right.
I'm
put it
sorry,
to
this is the
caucus.
reporter. I did not catch what was just said.
I made a motion to grant with provisos, but if the board members want to caucus to clarify those provisos, we can discuss.
Absolutely. All right, stop recording. We're going to caucus.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for waiting. We are going to grant the variance with the following provisos. You will upgrade the hallway walls to a 2-hour fire rating with 90-minute doors. We're not looking for heat detection, but we want smoke detection with the horns and strobes and manual fire alarm boxes at each landing.
Thank you, Ms. Rivera.
Okay?
Thank you, members of the board. And this will be my last appearance of the year, I believe. So I wish everyone a happy holiday
Ours
and a
too.
happy new year. That's right. Thank
you,
you for
Harry.
fitting us in.
All right, can the other board members just say they're in agreement with those provisos?
I'm in agreement.
I agree.
I also agree.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Harry.
Hi. Hi. Hi, Deborah.
All right, our next case, number
Thank you.
11, is for 1034 to 36 Spring Street. Carolina Pina is the applicant. All right, Carolina, are you here?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, I just can't see you.
Yeah, my video's not coming up. But, there we go.
There we go. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Is there anyone else that's going to be presenting with you?
Yes, Michelle Kleschek.
Michelle, can you turn your camera on?
Yep,
Thank
I'm
you.
here.
Can you also raise your right hand? And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you so much. All right, Carolina, you can present, or whoever's going to, oh, I'm sorry, let me read it into the record. This is MI 2025-007048 for 1034 to 36 Spring Street. All right, Carolina, you can present.
Great, thank you. Good afternoon. I'm presenting for 1034 Spring Street. It's an existing 6-story building with exterior masonry walls and heavy timber interior structure. We are asking the board for a variance on this. The owner is proposing to turn the existing building into apartments. Right now it's 6 stories. And the code does not permit to have R2 that is more than 5 stories. So we are planning to install an NFPA 13 system, monitor fire alarm, obviously do fire rated walls between units, hallways, and stairs. And so this is our ask.
Is there any way to make it a podium structure at the first floor to somehow change that?
No, it's an existing building, and it's all heavy timber on the inside. Unfortunately, it will be a big undertaking to turn it into at least the second floor and first floor into steel.
What's the construction of the second floor, flooring and support?
Heavy timber beams and wood.
But in terms of, thickness of flooring, they just basically what are you?
Maybe, Michelle, can you show us the Matterport? We have a 3D scan of the building. That will give you a good idea what it's like.
And it's currently, well, it was an office building throughout.
It used to be a daycare many, many, many years ago.
But not on all 6 floors.
Not on all 6 floors, correct.
What were the upper floors?
They were vacant when the daycare was here. Previous to that, I'm not sure.
Okay, and I think I read there already is an NFPA 13 system in there, but that it would have to be
Yes.
adjusted with
Correct.
all the partitions and.
Has there been any attempt to look at other occupancies at the 6th floor that would be within the limits of the building code?
Like commercial uses on the 6th floor.
Yes.
Unfortunately, no. The owner feels like that's not really economically feasible to have commercial all the way up on the 6th floor.
Or amenity spaces or things like that, that may serve the residences, but they're not actually living there.
No, they haven't. I mean, I can ask them, I guess. But they're trying to put all the apartments that we have in there. It works with their pro forma and the money that they spent acquiring the building and doing the renovation.
The question for L&I, what was the basis of the change of occupancy, calling it an increase? What was used as the existing use?
Let's see.
Because I see vacant in the record, but then I also see factory. I'm not sure what.
That might have been it. Let me go look at the let me open up the refusal again. Higher hazard. I'm trying to read this here. Change of occupancy. Sorry. Change of occupancy to an existing commercial building. Let me also just check what counts as the higher hazard here from R2 or to R2.
It looks like the last use for the upper floors was print shop. I don't know what that technically means. So it does look like it's an increase in hazard.
Okay.
Is the project seeking to, for the architect, is the project seeking to add additional protection or fire ratings to achieve technically 3A construction, as you've shown, but then increase fire ratings to accommodate being above height and area? Or are you proposing to add a more robust sprinkler system, a more robust fire alarm system? What options are available?
Yeah, well, the building is already an NFPA 13 system, so we would modify that according to the change of the partitions. We'll have a monitor fire alarm system. We are planning to increase the fire rating on the floors in between apartments. And hallways, we can increase the hallways, and the stairs are already masonry wall.
When you say separation between apartments on the floors, how are you doing that? What?
We'll have to do drywall and cover all the wood beams and the wood structure, and then put Jigcrete on top of the floors.
Okay, so you're talking increasing it to 2-hour separation there?
Yes.
John Dimes?
Yeah, and heavy timber construction, I'm guessing the reason why the codes don't allow it, because it does, heavy timber does pretty good at the beginning stages of fire because of its density and thickness. But once it gets going, it actually adds to the fire load, which becomes more dangerous. A lot of times, the way it's built vertically, vertical fire spread is usually could be a problem in the older buildings with heavy timber. So there's some of the things as the fire department, tall buildings that are heavy timber. And once they start going, they kind of go quick. There's kind of a false sense of security with the heavy timber. But again, once it starts charring it going, things can happen quickly with regard to collapse and stuff like that. So they're the things I would consider. But yeah, that's my take on that.
Is there a fire pump in the building, or is the system served by a fire pump?
Yes, currently in the basement, there's a fire pump.
Okay. Has there been any investigation about the standpipe being an automatic standpipe rather than a manual?
No, not yet. We haven't gotten that far.
That's a good question. Is there a standpipe in the building?
They're proposing one.
Oh, they're proposing. Okay.
Yeah. So automatic would be obviously better, unless Lieutenant Dimes, you have any additional opinion.
No, I mean, I think what is it? 50 feet. It's got to be wet, and it's high rise is automatic wet. But if on a 6-story, even with that type of situation, an automatic wet would be preferable, no doubt.
Yeah, I think that the owner will be willing to explore that. Make sure that is done.
Do you have to replace the fire pump that's in there now?
I don't know yet. We haven't gotten that far.
All right.
Can I ask you to go back to the photo with the daycare in it that you just had up prior to this? Yeah, I'm just looking at the floor structure above, and the floorboards are not running in the way I would expect them to run. They're really spanning very long.
Yes.
As opposed to spanning from.
On the short direction, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see from below. Maybe on the top floors, they're more exposed.
Well, they were pretty exposed on that one. It just doesn't look appropriate. All right, up there, they look like they run in the proper direction.
Huh, yeah.
Beam to beam rather than.
Yeah, is that the roof, or is that a floor above?
This is the roof.
Okay. Can you go to another floor? I'm just curious.
You go down to 5.
Well, something that doesn't have a drop ceiling.
Right.
All right, that they're running the appropriate way. Maybe that's just a ceiling that was put in.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think with the 2-arm separation, that's sort of more. It's just a different way of doing it. It's not going to
Board members, does anyone want to caucus?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Recording off. All right, thank you. We're going to approve this variance with provisos that there be an automatic wet standpipe, that you provide a 3-hour rating between the first and second floor and everything below supporting the second floor. Confirm that the heavy timber will provide a 1-hour rating between all the other floors, and that you'll have your NFPA 13 system for the whole building.
Okay. Very good.
So we're kind of trying to make that podium work for you.
I understand. Okay.
And we recognize there are multiple ways to achieve that, but we'll leave that up to you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Do all the board members agree?
Yes, I do. I do.
I agree.
I also agree.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good afternoon.
Thank you.
All right, our next case is we're gonna go out of order, is gonna be our case number 1357 Dyer Street. MI 2025-007357. Applicant is Bissett Durham. We will come back to 5800 Chester Avenue, but we're trying to get all our cases in before our one board member has to recuse himself. All right. Can you turn on your microphone if it's not? Okay. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you. Are you the only one presenting your case? Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Bissett Durham. I am representing Roca Eterna Properties.
Excuse me, this is the court reporter. Could I ask the witness to pull the microphone closer to her? Even closer.
Good afternoon. My name is Bissett Durham, Bissett, last name Durham. I represent Roca Eterna Properties.
I did say the MI number.
I'm sorry, you did say?
Yeah, I
it?
did
I didn't
read it.
hear you say.
My mother is the owner of this small LLC. We purchased the property back in November 2023 with her small pension proceedings, with the purpose of her living in one property and rent the other two. After closing, we find out that the previous owner have filed for zoning to change the use to multifamily. However, 2 days before the closing, apparently those permits expired. So we started a new process. I hired an attorney and we got granted the zoning to change of use to a multifamily. The properties are rented. My mom lives in one. The other two are rented. We have a rental license. We have complied with all violations. We also have alarm certification completed. However, the first floor, the very first floor, we decided to shorten it because it was too long. And then we provided some plans to the city to legalize the existing structure and change the first floor. The first floor basically was a big apartment with an extension to the garage. And we find out that the electric bill was too high because it was such a big, long space to keep heating. So you see in the plans in there, the only changes are on the first floor. So I'm asking to
Well, I'm looking at the digital plans. I just don't see any. I see the existing first floor and the proposed first floor, and I'm not finding the changes.
It's only in the existing floor first, the utility area was part of the kitchen. We moved the kitchen to the front and left the garage to be a garage.
Yeah, in both plans, it shows the kitchen at the rear, and I don't see a garage in either of them.
And in the first floor plans, it looks like all the bedrooms are being added. There are no bedrooms on the first floor.
Always have been bedrooms on the first floor.
Okay, well,
I'm going to share screen with what I'm looking at.
I send the 16 and the new ones. I have them here.
So this is what I'm seeing, and I have existing first floor here, proposed first floor here, but they both look the same. There's a porch, there's apartment 2 with a bedroom, there's another bedroom, There's a dining room and there's a kitchen at the rear. So I'm not sure what changed.
Okay, these were the first plans that we inherit from the owner.
Okay.
And there's another set of plans with the changes.
Oh, Matthew Wojcik, do you have another set of plans that you can share screen?
Yes, I was trying to get attention, but there's no like raise your hand button on Zoom.
You can just speak.
Okay, can I just start screaming? Okay, because I was about to say like those are not what we reviewed, so like
Okay.
do not use those.
Also, the previous owner's plans did say that the building must be fully sprinkled.
There's also that.
I apologize.
Durham.
Miss Dora, do you,
Oh, can you see my screen? Sorry.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes, Mr. Perez.
Can you scroll
Um,
down though, Matthew, so we can see the titles?
Yeah, so can you explain the previous owner's plans that you provided as part of the appeal? Is that something you received before your mother purchased the property, or
That's
what?
correct.
Okay,
That's correct. We
so
received
those,
everything
yes,
was apparently approved.
understood. So those plans tell you that to use this as a 3-family dwelling, the building needs to have a sprinkler system.
Well, at that moment, when we correct all violations, the city asked me to provide an alarm system certification, and that's what we did. And we went to that certification and we got approved for a rental license.
As 3 units?
Correct.
Can you
Can I
confirm
also
that?
just interrupt again real quick? Sorry. So when you say the previous plans were approved, we don't have approved building plans for any of these. They're all reviewed at some point, but none of them appear to have been actually issued or like approved.
Yeah, we find out a few days before our closing that the previous owner, Mr. Jamal, he filed for an extension, but didn't work. So we had to start the whole process again.
Right. And just to
all new
clarify
plans.
to the board and everyone here, no plans have been approved.
Okay.
They've only ever been under review, and then the applicant just stopped responding.
And Matt, what you're saying is that the plans that were being reviewed showed sprinklers being installed. Is that correct?
Let me just double check which ones. Okay, so there was a administrative application submitted in 2021 that was expired in 2022. And that one, I'm just trying to look at this clearly. That one, let me just look at the comments real quick. Oh, wrong
The
one.
previous plans, I believe at one point they were submitted. However, it did not continue with the process. I believe the previous owner was not advised that he needed to legalize the existing structure. And probably he thought that the zoning was the last step to get his CO.
Right. Okay. So okay, let me just go back to what the previous owner, I guess. So this is in 2021 that something was submitted by a lawyer. Did you own the property then?
No, we
Okay.
the owner was we purchased the property November 2023.
Okay. Just wanted to double check. Okay, so that administrative application in 2021, the applicant was told that they need to file a building permit application instead of an administrative application, and that they will need to install sprinklers due to going from R3 and M to R2, and also the use permit will expire soon. And so at some point, the use permit was issued 2023, and then in 2024, a building permit was submitted And it was reviewed in July 2024. And the comments were, wow, a lot.
Yes. And we submitted all the additional information except this one that needed to be appealed.
Right, okay. Trying to see here. Okay, there's no comment about sprinklers, which makes me think that they were mentioned on the plans already. Yeah, building must be fully
Yeah,
sprinklered,
that was it.
and that was in 2024 that those plans were reviewed.
So the plans already stated that the building was going to be sprinkled.
Yeah, that's in 2024.
Well, at this time, the units are occupied. We have complied with every single violation that we encountered when we purchased the property. We also have a fully certified alarm system installed. And we also made sure that the walls have the proper rating in there for the hallway all the way upstairs. And on the first floor, we also added the double drywall to make sure it wasn't 1 hour rating. My mother is 74 years old. I mean, we don't have any funds available to create a new system. And, that was create a hardship in our part.
So Matthew, in the records, it's being changed from retail and 2 residential dwelling units to 3 residential dwelling units. Do you have any record as to when there was some sort of a retail in that building? It's a corner property, so maybe it makes
Yeah.
sense. It looks like the porch has been enclosed as far back as Google goes since 2007.
Yeah, trying to look through that. It takes a while for things to load, unfortunately.
Okay, and I don't see any signage to indicate that there was a store or anything there.
I believe it's just the general, like, there's all these records of them, like, getting zoning permits for, like, 3-family, but then there's no CO for it. So,
The rental license says 3 units as well. I'm not
I'm not
confident.
gonna,
Understood. I'm not
I
confident.
don't want to
I'm
speak
reading
on
rental.
behalf of the licensing unit. That's all I'll say.
Understood. I understand.
And again, back to, well,
It's a license for weights and scales back in 2007, I believe. But it have been a 3.
For retail?
Yes, and I believe it have been a 3-family unit since 2015.
well, it looks, in 2008, I see 3 residential mailboxes. And again, no signage for any commercial space.
So in 2008, a rental license, we don't have anyone from the license issuance unit to confirm how I'm reading this. So, but just from what Atlas says, in 2008, a rental license for 3 units was issued. It became inactive 2012. And then another rental license for 3 units was secured by a different entity after that. Oh, sorry. In 2014. So for 12 years, there's a gap, but at least it's shows a rental license for 3 units in as far back as 2012.
Just to be clear, are you saying that when the property was purchased, the understanding was that there were 3 legal units?
Correct.
So you weren't aware that it was that it wasn't officially?
We would show our zoning, everything. The real estate agent told us that it was fully approved and it was advertised as a multifamily unit.
Right. Going back to the licensing thing real quick, just looking at business license history here. There's the one that had it says initial issue date 2008, inactive 2012, and then then there's a bunch of scales and scanners, food prep stuff that's all like long since inactive, for like 2 decades now. And then there was a new rental license for 3 units issued it on October 10th, 2024.
It was us after we received the zoning
Right.
granted, yes.
Yeah, let me see
And-
what
And the
they.
work, well, he's
let me see
looking
what
that up.
was-
And the work you're proposing is just on the first floor?
Correct.
And you're moving the kitchen?
To the front
Uh-huh.
and leaving the garage as a storage, as a
Okay.
utility area.
And the kitchen was in the garage
Yes.
previously?
Okay, I'm just looking at what was used to get the, okay, so a affidavit of continuous use was submitted for the rental application. Uh, I look, it's a different unit. They work differently. They have their own rules. The zoning permit that the current owners got in 2024, well, in 2024 was used as proof of continuous use
And then they use that for the license.
since 20, yeah, which is like, I don't know why, like, if there's proof of it being used since like what, like earlier than 2008 even, then like why wasn't that used? But I'm not gonna. I'll look in the zoning archive real quick because I issued this a while ago, so I can't remember exactly how I double checked this. 2008. I think it might just be down to like due to the last time, like, oh, sorry, because it looks like 3-family was issued like over and over again, but there's just no CO just ever issued for it. Yeah, because the one in 2008, it was granted by variance.
Yes.
And then there's like another one in 93. Like it's like seems like it keeps on going over and over, but like for some reason people keep getting it over and over. Or they're getting signs back then. These things are not always in order.
So we trying just to complete the process to be able to obtain the certificate of occupancy.
Right.
But you are doing some renovation work at the first floor.
The proposed renovation was only on the first floor where my mom resides.
Understood, but yeah.
That's the level floor.
All right, board members, do we want to caucus?
I think so, yes.
Okay. Stop recording. Okay, you want to add something?
When you asked me if the changes were only gonna be on the first floor, it's the basement, we also were gonna add like 2 walls to create some classes on the second floor. That was the only change I forgot to mention.
Add 2 walls to create what?
Like a closet space.
Okay. We're inclined to grant the variance, but the fact that you're adding a kitchen where there wasn't a kitchen, we'd like you to make that a 2-hour rated ceiling and walls around that kitchen, because that's technically a fire hazard, to try to contain that. So it'd be the wall between the kitchen and the porch next door, the wall that separates the kitchen from the rest of the house, and the ceiling.
Okay,
Okay?
okay,
Especially since it's a kitchen.
okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay?
All right.
Do all the board members agree?
I do.
I agree.
I also agree.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. Have a great holiday,
Thank-
everybody.
Thank you, you too. All right, our next case, number 14, is 7978 Mitchener Street, MI 2025-007-342, and Kim Garrison is the applicant.
Good afternoon, I'm here.
Hi, Kim, can I swear you in?
Yes,
You raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Will you have anyone else testifying with you?
Yes, Derek Towns.
Derek, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Can you turn your sound on?
I'm here now.
Okay. Do you swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, yes, I do.
Can you spell your name, your full name for the court reporter?
Derrick, Derrick, Towns, Townes.
Okay, go ahead. Do you want to present your case?
Okay, sure. So first, good afternoon. I want to thank you for taking the time to meet with me. I requested an appeal for the install of a fire suppression sprinkler system to this property, which was pre-existing. Previously, the zoning board granted a change of use from 2 to 3 units, and it was granted with no conditions. I've been trying to legalize it and get a certificate of occupancy and a rental license since it was approved. Today, I am again providing more details and to explain the circumstances surrounding my request for an appeal. Initially, like this, I guess this property was zoned as a duplex, and it was used as a 3 unit, and so it was already being used that way. I think it was part of the reason why it was granted. But it is I'd like to also show you pictures after I share a little bit about the property. It is a duplex. It's at the corner. It's a semi-detached corner property. It was an existing 2. It has a fire alarm system in the building already. All the exits are equipped with a fire alarm pull-down stations connected to the building, which is currently has a certification. All the units have fire extinguishers, and all of the units have a single station, 110-volt battery backup, smoke CO2 detectors in all bedrooms and hallways. All of the units on the property are above ground. I'll show you pictures. You can see it's above ground, and there are multiple entrances and exits on the lower level, which is the 3rd unit. The entrance into the apartment, which is the 2 apartments above the unit, there is a pull-down station at the entrance and exit, and there's a pull-down station at the entrance and exit of the lower level as well. The second floor has, the lower level has an entrance on the side street, which is Vernon Road. It's the adjacent side street, and it also has an entrance in the back of the unit, which is behind Vernon Road. This is also right across, adjacent to Vernon Road, which has multifamily properties, some of which are 2 units and some of which are 3, and probably half a row of storefronts. Can I share my pictures with you now?
You can.
Okay. Are you seeing my pictures? I have to go one by one, sorry. Can you see this?
Not yet.
You're not sharing it.
All right, try again.
While you're bringing that up, just a quick question.
Can you see now?
No.
No.
It's not sharing. Hold on.
Go ahead, Pradeep.
Yeah, just a quick question. I just want to make sure we understand. The zoning board would not have made any comments regarding the requirement for sprinklers because they are not reviewing for fire and life safety. So, okay, so when you say that they approved it and didn't add a condition, that should not be the expectation. Well, at least that is not the expectation of the ZBA. They would not. So.
Okay. That was my assumption when it said no conditions, that it meant that this was approved and I could move forward with certificate of occupancy and getting a rental license. So I'm going through this process now. So this first picture is the side entrance on Vernon Road. That's the entrance into the lower level apartment. Can you see the next picture?
We see the side
Yes.
entrance.
On the
Yeah,
side.
this is, okay. I probably have to share each one, sorry.
If you do a share screen and then you open the pictures, you can scroll through them and we would be able to see them. While you're setting that up, Matthew Wojcik, have you looked up the zoning history of it? Or just the permit history?
Yeah. So the zoning history is very conveniently 2-family above, and then the first floor is just something else.
Okay.
It's various things over the years, but never a dwelling unit. It's always like some kind of commercial use with 2 apartments above.
Okay.
That's very consistent.
So this is the front entrance. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. This is the front entrance where the first and second apartments are. And you can see the steps, the front entrance, and on the other side, around the other, this is Mishner, facing the front entrance, and on the other side is Vernon Road, where the second entrance is for the apartments.
So with the work at the quote unquote basement level, while that was performed after you received the zoning permit for 3-family, but you had not at that point received a building permit. Is that correct? Or is that what's being legalized?
Sorry, are you
Harrison, are you
seeing
still there?
anything that I'm sharing? Yes, I'm here. I was trying to
Okay.
share. I
We're
was
seeing
trying
your
to share.
Zoom screen.
Okay, sorry.
I'll wait until you're done, Ms. Garrison. I just had a question.
Thank you. Can you see anything? Can you see any pictures now?
No, all we see is your Zoom screen.
No? Okay. Can you see pictures now? Hello?
Yes.
Yes,
we
just
can
a,
see
just a
pictures.
moment. We're
Yes.
we're gonna pause the recording just for a moment. I apologize. Thank you for your patience.
Sure. So this is the first floor, inside the front of the unit, on the first floor that, you can see that apartment, that's the first floor apartment. And on that wall, you see the fire, system and the pull down. This is another view of it.
Yes.
Pradeep, you're muted.
So,
And
Ms.
this is the, hello?
Yep, Ms. Garrison, the
Okay.
question I had was just to understand the sequence of events. So you received a use permit to change it to 3 units and then performed alterations at the basement based on that approval.
Yeah, just some minor alterations. It was nothing major. It was already existing as something that someone was using when I purchased it.
Okay. Okay, but there were some alterations performed to create
Some
a
minor.
3rd unit.
Yeah.
Okay. When were those alterations performed?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the date right now. It was probably quite a few years. It was probably quite a few years after it was purchased, but it was minor alterations. Because it was already being used when this was purchased. It was already being used as 3 of something.
No. Was it used, but it wasn't used as 3 units, like 3 dwelling units, 3
Oh,
residences.
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was used as for that when I
Okay.
purchased it, but it was already some renovations done.
The bathroom and all that stuff was already there
Was
when
there a kitchen?
when the place was purchased. Yeah, all that stuff was basically in there. We just updated it a little bit.
Okay.
So where is this photo?
This is the lower level. So this is that side entrance on Vernon Road. This is inside the apartment, and you can see the pull station there.
Okay. I'm looking on Google and the door's different. That's why I was.
Yeah, yeah, that's the lower level from outside on the street, the one entrance. The other entrance is at the back.
So that door was changed since June of 2025.
That door was already there.
There was already a door there.
Right, there was already a door there. I'm just saying it got changed, possibly when other renovations were done.
No. That door was already there. It's existing.
Am I looking at the wrong property? So I'm looking at that door.
Yeah.
Oh, she changed it now. All right, go on.
So that's it in terms of the pictures. I just wanted to share with you that, like, I have made some efforts to ensure, like, some reasonable efforts to ensure the public safety by having the fire alarm system, having the pull downs, having the CO2. The lower level has two entrances in the front and the back of the property. And then most importantly, it would be a significant financial hardship for me to do that. I already had to, dig up the outside due to an issue with a big tree outside in the front of the house and replace part of the plumbing. So I would have to do that yet again. And install a new dedicated sewer line, water line for the sprinkler system. I would also have to remove all of these all the tenants that are there. They're all Section 8 and low-income housing programs. I would have to ask them to leave while the work is getting done, which would be a hardship on them. It would also be a financial hardship on me. I would have to, incur the cost of all of the equipment, additional architectural drawings and fees, which I've already done to accommodate the requests and clarifications of the board, and in general to pay for the system and the repairs of the properties as well. And so for those reasons, I'm asking for, for an appeal to have to install the system.
Also,
Okay, go ahead.
Also, Kim, you should have some pictures of the rear driveway entrance. You only showed the side off of Vernon Road. There should be some more pictures in there. And all these entrances were existing. These weren't changes or alterations.
Is the one you're talking about access the lower floor or the middle?
Yeah, to the lower floor.
The lower floor.
There's two access points from the lower level apartment that were existing.
All right, I'll just ask if John Dimes has any comments, and then we're gonna caucus.
No, I mean, this, and it looks like it's an end of the row, easy operation for the fire department, wherever the fire is. It is going from an R3 basically historically to an R2. It doesn't sound like it was ever legalized as an apartment in the basement. Is that correct?
It was used.
Not used, legalized. In other words, it was. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. My apologies.
No, not legalized.
Okay. All right, but it was used at one point. 3 people did live in there in 3 different separate dwellings.
Yes.
Okay.
And there are other properties on that adjacent street, Vernon Road. There's a few duplexes there, and there's one in unit one with the same configuration as this one, with a basement apartment that was always there and has 3 separate tenants. With
gotcha. Is there any middle of the block?
renters.
Is there any middle? Is there any middle of the block triplexes or 3 units, or just the ends? Like
not on this one, just the ends. But on Vernon Road, the adjacent street to this, there are 2 end unit properties with 3 separate tenants with the separate entrances, just like this property.
Gotcha.
1459, I believe. And there's another end unit. I think that address might be 1457.
All right.
1467, I'm sorry.
I'm good. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. We're gonna stop the recording and caucus, and we'll be. All right, thank you, Ms. Garrison. We are going to approve your request for variance with the proviso that you have to provide a 2-hour fire rating in the ceiling between the lower unit and the unit above it.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
That's not a problem.
All right. Other board members, are you in concurrence?
I'm in agreement.
I'm in agreement.
All right, thank you.
And
Thank
Mr.
you.
Perek had to step away, but this 3 is still a quorum.
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Good luck.
Okay, thanks.
All right, we're going to go now back on our list to 5800 Chester Avenue.
5800 Chester Ave.
This is MI 2025-007-341. Michael Goldberg is the applicant.
Here.
Hi, Michael.
Hi.
Who else will be presenting with you?
I'm joined by Kara Meadow from the Capital Planning Office, as well as either Ajay Prasad or Seth from Jensen Hughes.
All right, I see Seth. I'm going to have to swear all of you in individually. Mike, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I'm going to go in order that I see you. Seth Jacobs, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. And Kara Meadow, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. All right.
And then Ajay just joined, actually.
Okay.
Where's my camera? Camera's not working. I'm raising my hand. I'm trying to find my camera. Why is this not working? Oh, here we go. Okay. What's the problem?
I recognize you by voice.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
All right, Ajay, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, who's ever going to present, you may proceed.
Thank you. I'm going to just provide just a brief overview of the project and give some context to why we're here. And then I'm going to turn it over to Ajay and Seth to kind of lead us through the finer details of what the variance involves. Again, just for context, the project is nearing construction completion, which consists of the redevelopment of the Francis Myers Rec Center in Southwest Philadelphia. This turn-of-the-century building consists of a 3-story mass masonry and heavy timber structure, built originally as a Presbyterian orphanage building. Then in the 60s, was converted into its present use by the city as a recreation center. The building was fully occupied at the time of design, and was operating as a community center and fully programmed through the entirety of design phase, as mentioned, up till the day of construction. And the scope of the permitted project included, just for context, the partial demolition of existing annex additions, significant interior renovation, and the construction of a 1-story addition serving as a primary lobby and gymnasium space. And it also included exterior site renovations and playgrounds as well. All of this work, mind you, is part of the rebuild initiative, just for context. The existing building underwent substantial alterations, as I mentioned, including improving and expanding the existing fire alarm system and protection systems, improvements to the interior use and accessibility, and construction of a new non-combustible interior exit stairway serving all floors within the existing building, including the 3rd floor, which we'll talk a little more about later. For note, this is a vacant story, this 3rd floor, which is to be used only for building maintenance access only. And as described in the submitted variance request memo, the condition necessitating variance is based on revisions to a key structural connection adjacent to the new exit stair shaftway due to field conditions encountered during construction. And this connection, the structural connection is related to an existing tension tie rod as part of the original wooden truss, roof truss assembly. And this formerly continuous connection was designed to be terminated at the outboard side of the CMU stair enclosure. And though due to unforeseen conditions, it became infeasible to install as originally conceived. And so I'm going to turn it over to Ajay to kind of walk us through a little more of the details here. Ajay, let me know if you want me to pull up.
Yeah,
any
can you
exhibits.
pull that up, please?
You got it.
Sure. So here you can see the yellow is the tie rod. This is the tie rod. And in the section on the left, we have the exterior, and then you see this portion. You see the 2-hour CMU wall there, and then this portion of the steel that extends through that. And then on the right, we have an elevation that just shows the existing tension rod in yellow highlight. So there are really two issues here. Initially, two issues. One is penetration of the stair enclosure with the tension rod, and then protection of the tension rod. And so we're looking in the 2021 IBC that actually mentions penetration of stair enclosures, exit stairs by structural elements. Here, this is not supporting the stairway, so we don't think that really applies. And so, given the constraints that, it would basically, extensive amounts of reconstruction that would have to happen in order to take this tension rod out. What we're proposing is an alternative method of protection, which would be to provide a through penetration fire stop system where the tension rod penetrates the 2-hour stair enclosure. So that would help at least alleviate any concern of a fire outside of the stair getting into the stairway. And then in addition to that, we would provide 2-hour listed intumescent paint around the steel connection on the inside of the stair. And what that does is essentially maintain the 2-hour separation or enclosure of the exit stairway. So in our opinion, that provides the requisite level of protection by, again, continuing the 2-hour separation and preventing fire from outside going into the stairway. So by removing stair B obviously would cause problems, which from an egress perspective. So that we don't think that that's necessarily feasible. The travel distances would go up, and providing an exit stair through the building clearly is much safer than taking it out. And so what happens though, because we need it for egress, if you want to go to the next thing, here we go. So here you kind of see what happens is we have their stair, we have level 2 and level 3. Sorry, if you go to the section, I think that might be helpful. Thanks, Michael. Okay, so here you see the existing tension rod. And so what happens though is we do have a 7-inch projection into the stair landing, and it's happening below the 80 inches. It's actually to the bottom is 6'3". And so in order to address the issue of the projection into the stairway, which is in 1011.3, what we're proposing to do is provide a guardrail on the landing to prevent people from, potentially hitting their head on the tension rod. Now, again, the third floor will be very limited in occupancy, and so what happens is that floor really has a very low occupant load that would allow us to have a 3-foot wide stair. So really, what the issue is we could have a 3-foot wide stair coming down from level 3. However, the landing would not be, we could keep the stair the way it is, but the landing would not be long enough or deep enough if we have the guardrail. So what we're proposing here is to basically provide a 3-foot wide or deep landing, which should be acceptable based on the very low occupant load. And this way, we're preventing mitigating any kind of hazard of people hitting their heads on this 7-inch tension rod.
Can I
So
ask
those
you a
are
question?
yeah, sure.
Why wasn't, the rods is terminating at that wall, correct? And then terminating at another wall on the other side? It does not run through the stair shaft.
Correct.
It does not run through the stair. It's only through one wall.
Why couldn't all this bracketing be on the outside
It was
of the
designed.
stairwell?
Yeah, it was designed that way, Amy. But due to really the location of these new LVLs, which are really driven by the existing joists on either side of each bay, the contractor in good faith, I think, believed they had the clearance to install the connection. And I think by the time they returned to it, they realized it was structurally infeasible. It was infeasible to install the actual connection. And so, and it was infeasible at that point to do any significant modifications to those LVLs, given all the work that was in place at the time. And so to speak, the train had left the station. And so we ended up with a connection on the inboard side, unfortunately, of the stair enclosure.
So it was a sequencing event where if it were done first, it would have worked.
It was a cascading, and unfortunately, no one on the construction team is here to speak to the finer details. But my understanding it was a series of cascading issues that led to really the position we were put in to accept.
Okay.
And how far off the wall would the guardrail be you're proposing?
It'd be a standard guardrail.
Specifically, it would be 7 inches, really in line with the
coming out. Yeah, I mean, would that work as essentially as a handrail bolted to the wall as opposed to, anchored to the? I'm just thinking in terms of reducing the landing. I know it's.
You mean just like almost like a chair rail?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean that's
your
fine.
objective is to keep people from bumping their heads. And you're gonna paint it yellow
that could. Yeah, that could work. Again, the people who are getting up to this level would be familiar with the building, and it's just, they're maintenance folks who know, what they need to do when they get up to the third floor. So, yeah, I mean, we put guardrail in. Michael, do you have any? We just want to make sure there's not walkable surface underneath the projection. Directly underneath.
And I'm sorry, what does that leave clear on the landing?
It would be 3 foot clear. So it's essentially we're saying we'd make it basically like a 3 foot wide stair given the occupant load. And then once you get down to level 2, everything is the same 3'9". The code compliant for that occupant load for level 2.
Yeah, and it's worth adding, if you haven't seen it in the plan to the left, that access to level 3 is controlled via a wire mesh partition with panic hardware on the push side and a lockable lever on the pull side of the door. So it's really, to reiterate Jay's point, those that are having access and getting up to that floor are knowledgeable of those conditions, day to day.
Okay, I'm okay with this.
I'm okay with it.
Wayne, you're on mute.
I'm also okay with it.
Okay, we'll grant the variance with no provisos.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, our last set of cases are for Sheldon Street. Address 4951 Sheldon Street, Unit A, 4951 Sheldon Street, Unit B, 4961 Sheldon Street, and 4975 Sheldon Street. I will read them all officially into the record. MI 2025-007-429 for 4951 Sheldon Street, Unit A. MI 2025-007-430 for 4951 Sheldon Street, Unit B. MI 2025-007-431 for 4961 Sheldon Street, and MI 2025-007-432 for 4975 Sheldon Street. Adam Montalbano is the applicant, and I see him present. Adam, are you going to have anyone else presenting with you?
Yes, I have Sam Holmes with me. And Christine Chen is here as well, if needed.
Okay, I'm gonna swear all of you in. Adam, do you swear to tell, raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Sam Holmes, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. And Christine Chen, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Can you just make that audible? We didn't hear you. I still can't hear you, but.
You muted?
No, she's not muted. We just can't hear her. Oh, now I can hear you. Can you say I do?
I do.
Thank you. All right, go ahead and present.
Thank you. So I'm going to give just a little, kind of like the prior case, a little background and color to the several different properties that we're discussing here today, and then Sam will kind of go into a little bit more of the code specifics and the actual ins and outs of the variance itself. So Moto has been working on numerous projects through the Turn the Key program, the city's affordable housing program. We've done roughly, I would say, probably 350 or 400 to date, moving them through the building department. We've not encountered any building variances up until this point, but we are starting to see, as some of the properties become a little bit more tricky, that this has arisen on this particular batch of homes. I think there's about 70 different homes in this project that we're working on. And so the purpose of being here today is, one, to get clarity on these specific instances, but also just to get an understanding of how the board would view these in the future should we encounter these again. So essentially, the crux of the issue is these are infill lots. They typically vary in size, sometimes down to 12 feet. Sometimes they're wider. We're placing usually a new construction single-family home or a duplex home on these parcels. They have varying rear yard depths. In the case of this specific issue, we have rather large rear yard depths, and Sam can go into a little more detail about that. But in these particular parcels, there's no rear egress alley. So we have large rear yards which meet the dispersal area requirement regarding exit discharge, but not necessarily compliance with the emergency escape and rescue opening, allowing fire personnel to come to the rear yard and rescue someone from a rear window. We have had these approved previously through LNI. However, we got clarity that that was done in error. So we're trying to make sure that these going forward are kind of done the right way. I believe LNI has essentially said that they are happy to see essentially a tunnel or breezeway condition, which we've all seen in Philadelphia. Sometimes they're shared and straddle the property line. Sometimes, we're creating these fully within the property line and having our own dedicated tunnel to the rear yard. However, I know that we've pursued that variance in other instances, sometimes on commercial buildings. The board hasn't loved it. However, we have kind of gotten that approval before. So where LNI may be preferential to one thing, the board may be preferential to another. So in these instances, again, we have a very large rear yard, and Sam, maybe you can kind of go into the specifics of this.
Sure, yeah. You covered most of it, but I will share my screen, take a look at this lot. All four of these are 17 and a half feet wide by 140 feet deep. Again, no alley access. We have in the past shown a safe dispersal area for approval on a lot similar to this. Our reviewers kind of rightfully flagged that IRC code R310 for the egress window is really more about access to the back for a fireman and not so much about exit. And the dispersal area is very specifically an exit code. As Adam kind of noted, our main goal here is just to understand how to present these to the client ahead of time so that we're not consistently asking for a variance on lots like this that they choose to pursue. The code does not really offer us a lot of design directive for fire access. Of course, there's lots of on exiting and how to design exits, but is that, I guess, appropriate in the tunnel design discussion? Does the exiting tunnel sort of match the access tunnel, since we've clearly defined this as not an exit by not allowing this dispersal code? Just sort of a little mental puzzle, I guess, from the code perspective. And then sort of the other part of this that we're trying to unpack is that the spirit of the emergency egress window code is that you end up in this open courtyard public way that very clearly speaks to direct connection to the sky. I think public way is clearly defined as a 10 by 10 volume. So that's obviously not reasonable on a site as narrow as a Philly row house. And I think we understand that a side yard with clear access to the sky is always desirable, but on a site like this, we kind of also know that our client doesn't love a 12-foot wide house, so it's maybe a less palatable site. And we just want to know how to do this, as Adam said, in the future, and maybe discuss sites like this with our client in the future.
You have exceptional backyards.
They are. You could easily, by many standards, a developer would often put another house back there if it faced a street, but these are unusually deep. Most of the properties that we're working with have, 60 or 70 feet or something along those lines. These are, as you said, exceptionally deep.
So what you show a lot of walls in the yard that separate, I'm not sure what they're there for. Like, are they retaining walls or?
That's actually just a fence. It's not truly a yard or
Okay.
a wall, rather.
The one site plan I was looking at had a fence, had another partial wall back there. I didn't know if, again, there was a retaining wall condition. Yeah, that, like, what are,
That might be an existing condition. Christine might be able to speak to that better. For these permits, we often show the area of disturbance very tight, especially on a lot this big, so that we don't trigger any kind of earth moving documentation.
okay.
So if there is a wall back there, we typically wouldn't address it.
Okay, just John Dimes. I just want to point out that they have a 94-foot rear yard.
Yeah,
An open rear yard.
that's unusual in the city of Philadelphia. And
Yeah.
I think in the past, it actually, what was it, 75 feet? Anything above 75 feet, we were allowing at one point. I think that was the difference.
Yeah, we were thinking it was 50, John.
I thought it was 50, John.
Oh, 50, okay. So, that's more than enough. But is the variance for not leading to a public way, or the actually emergency escape opening window just not being large enough?
The window's large enough. We just can't connect to a public way because we don't have alleys.
Okay, yeah. Then historically, and by my interpretation, how far is that's 90-something feet from the rear of the property, or the lot size is 94 feet?
The rear of the property.
Yeah, that's the rear yard. So the house is, I think Adam had said the whole lot is like 140 feet.
Okay, gotcha. Yep, then I wouldn't have issue.
And Matt, just so we're clear, what's your interpretation of what's allowed as of right? I mean, is that 50 feet basically the trigger? And
So I know where that comes from. It's in the building code. It is not in the residential code.
Mm-hmm.
It's an allowable exception in the building code, but these are all IRC buildings, meaning I can't cite them.
Right.
So we're kind of stuck here, even though that rear yard is very generous.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I think you guys are looking for kind of guidance, not just in these specific instances, but other, as you mentioned, I think at the beginning, Adam, you said varying size, lot depths. And I think we may feel comfortable where there's these, exceptional lot depths where you can get 50 feet or more. It's really a question of getting away, from a fire until you can be rescued. And John, I think you've said at times that you guys, where there are, landlocked rear yards, you're getting up and over the buildings. You're not, ideally it's great when there are, alleys, but that's not always the case.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, alleyways are the norm in Philadelphia, but there are places where you don't have that. And exactly, your term was correct. We do an up and over, and we go down, and we can get to the back. We go through other houses, hop walls, whatever we got to do to fight the fire. But like I said, the danger here is obviously everybody can just theorize how hot a fire gets outside a building. And I've used the example before. I mean, I've seen cars melt from across the street in a row house because of the heat from a fire. So at one point, people, well, we have 15 feet or we have 20 feet. Well, that's not going to do it. But once we get, 50, 75, 100, I don't tell you the truth. I don't even like the 50, but you get over 75, as in this case, I would say, that should be good enough to where you should be okay for a period of time before you got rescued.
Yeah, and I think from our standpoint, concur with what John's saying. If there were shallower lots where I think tunneling, shared alleys, whatever it is, something has to be explored. So just thinking ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think in this instance, we do have the luxury of the very deep property here. There are certainly going to be instances in the future, I'm sure, where we don't have that. Maybe we have a 60-foot or 80-foot deep lot, and we may not have that length. And where the property is wide enough, through the guidance from LNI, it sounds like a tunnel sort of breezeway back to the front of the property would be code compliant. However, there may be instances where we, have a narrower property at 16 or, 14 feet or something like that, and that might not be feasible. So it's good to hear the commentary here today about 50 feet is maybe technically the line that you're looking at, where the real comfort is at 75. Part of what we're trying to understand as well is, as our clients sort of search and get these properties through the land bank and through the other city means, they may have an opportunity to refuse certain parcels that may not be approvable or may not pass through the board. So this discussion is really helpful for us in the future.
Yeah, and if there are, a series, I mean, say you got 5 to 10 contiguous lots that, looking at them comprehensively,
right,
being able to provide an alley, and I understand that may involve some lot line, manipulation, but it's just something to discuss with clients.
Yeah, we could do easements across backyards and properties, things like that. We've done that before as well. Yes.
Cool.
All right, I want to grant this variance.
I concur.
Okay.
I agree.
Does this apply to all 4 appeals?
This is for all 4 appeals.
It's worth mentioning that we have, I believe there's one additional property which was designed at the same time that has not yet made it all the way through to the appeal and refusal process, which probably will be before you in the next hearing. It just didn't make it into this batch just yet.
It's 2.
There are 2. Okay. But I believe they're roughly the same condition and lot depth. So
Do you have the addresses by any chance? Just so I
Once you
can.
get them, January 8th is the next date.
Yep. Okay.
And just send me an email.
Sure.
Do you have the addresses for those, or are they like really not ready yet?
Christine, do you have those?
Yes, I do have the addresses. I believe it is 5222 Wakefield Street and 248 East Philolina Street.
You do.
248.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's why.
All right, Matthew, you're looking these up, but can we, and I don't think it has any bearing on.
No, it
this
doesn't.
meeting.
No, no.
Okay.
No.
All right, then we're gonna end the meeting.
Yeah, this is just for me.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm sorry, this is the reporter. I'm not certain I heard a vote.
There was
We took one, but
vote.
we can, we took one, John. We can do it again.
There was
I'm in
one
agreeance
vote.
with it.
No, we cannot do it again, Mr. Miller. Sorry.
No?
Well, one of our members is not
Has
present.
left.
Mhm.
So Mr. August has left, but we held a vote and I asked the members whether that applied to all four. And they replied in the affirmative that the vote was yes on each appeal.
It was.
Thank you, Mr. Webster. There was a bit of crosstalk and I just wanted to make certain that I had it squared away.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Kelly. Thank you for checking in.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, John, we're good, right? Mr. Kelly.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.
All right.